win this game on 5 or 6 entrances. 20 in the first quarter, 5 in the second. Massive difference. You cannot live in this competition with infrequent entrances inside 50.
Jamar gone for the afternoon, and Jack Grimes pretty proppy at the interchange gates. Not sure how much football he's going to play this afternoon in this second half. A kick forward from Griffin out towards the wing, and the ball helped on its way and over. So that's going to be so. If Grimes can't come back and they're down to 2 men on the interchange bench, Fremantle really in the box seat.
Well, what it does tell you that these statistics show you just don't win enough games from 2 down, and that's unfortunate. We do play a contact sport.
Interesting too that Luke McFarlane, coming off the ground at halftime, said, I think we should be further in front. I wonder if it was pointed out to him that they weren't actually in front at all. Good control by the Demons. McDonald got it from Bale. Now out wide. Blease. He ran inside. He sends it long down towards full forward. Marking contest. Petard. He had the ball knocked over the line.
You sense Luke McFarlane sort of a half glass full kind of guy.
Have to be when you play across half-back, Hame.
Yes, I'd like to say he was a forward, but he's not.
Griffin.
Well, actually, he's probably a forward gone back.
Bit of both, yeah. Bit of both, Mick.
This one's a hard ball to win. Crowley's got Jones wrapped up underneath it all.
Very good system at the moment. I know we're not going to pan away from this, but Melbourne have actually dragged a few of the Fremantle players away from this just to make sure that they get what they want at the stoppage, and they're 1 from 1 outside 50.
And a busy forward 50 for the D's. Hill, almost, not quite. Mundy picked it up, dished it off. Hill just tries to break through, get onto the left boot. Might just come back inside here. Picked up, crash forward. McDonald, Spur, took it at speed, got rid of it well. Handball to Johnson, couldn't take it cleanly. Now Bale wrapped up. Robertson does well. He gets wrapped up too.
I'll make an apology. I said they're 1 for 1. They weren't. Big Stephen Martin was standing outside the front 50. He can't afford to go in the front 50 because he just hasn't got the stamina to go across the ground all day.
Griffin knocks it down. Muzungu left it behind. Mundy tried to get rid of it, had to go and get it again. Did, got tackled, dispossessed. Martin tries to crash through. Bales around the place, wrapped up by Howe, still on the arc. No problem.
Mick spoke about third man up at half-time, and I think we'll see it more and more as this game continues. And what if can happen, though, if it's kamikaze, it can become unpredictable and not predictable to each other.
So 2.5 minutes played in this third term and no score. It's still Melbourne by 13 points. Speaking of 13, Muzungu gets a kick out of the pack, and that's a great mark by De Boer.
Play on.
Hit it at full pace and had to wrap the hands around it. Not a good kick, though. He went looking for Main. Pavlich with time to recover. Trengove, the good tackle. Almost, not quite. Mundy down in the Ballantyne direction. Trying to work his way off Nicholson. Carried forward Walters. No free kick. Back to Muzungu, who started all of this off. He just got his kick to the ball just in the nick of time. McDonald's handball over the top, and that's okay. And they work it via the McDonald's. Out of defence, clearing kick towards the wing, pushed forward Petard, Johnson behind him. Petard up and running away from the contest, and Johnson a little bit slow to recover.
Did a terrific job to spoil that ball, though. He threw himself at that, so he's hurt himself in the process.
Jamar just watches on as Stephen Martin does the right work, knocks it down. Howe just quickly to half forward. Green, McPhee, terrific from behind. Probably happy to see it trickle over the boundary just as Griffin makes sure of that.
Looks like Johnson's just winded himself here, come down. Might have caught a boot there in the midriff region.
Just in the midriff, do you reckon, Kirky?
Yes, Tom. Very close to the midriff. It's the Latin terminology. Kirky studied a little bit. Walters, terrific vision, wonderful kick in the end, found Main. He's got Pearce just cruising past, long ball. How accurate is it? Bounces and bounces through. Well, the Dockers get the first of the third term, and we lead is now 7 points only. And well, as Mick Malthouse has said, the Demons have really struggled going forward. And the Dockers, with so much at stake this afternoon, desperate for 4 points.
very well orchestrated goal. It's just a nice little hand pass across, steadied. I knew the goal square was open because Pavlich led up the ground and took Frawley with him and created that vacuum about 15 metres out. So well orchestrated by Fremantle.
Great lead-up play. A case of Clancy on the overflow, I think. Hill now, who we've spoken about. Couch, one of a number of demons that tackled him. The ball locked up. Up he gets.
Sides are very well spread right up and down the corridor. There's a lot of room for the runners outside.
Griffin, Martin, there's Hill again. A bobbling ball inside the centre square. Crowley as well. Pearce involved.
Just not sure about Melbourne's methodology. They're dropping a man behind the ball, which is they didn't do it in the first half. Perhaps they're trying to protect. You can't protect a 7-point lead.
We do it again, and Griffin, he got his hands to it, just reaching over the top of Martin. Couch so busy, bustling away. We're going to have yet another bounce.
Really is an interesting setup by both clubs here. Mass numbers around the ball, both with a +1 behind the ball, with the wings totally open. And Melbourne do play the boundary more, so they'd like to spread and get it out if they can.
Barlow tried to take clean possession of that one. He didn't get his hands on it, and we're going to have yet another stoppage inside the centre square. So the football has hardly moved in the last minute. Fremantle have kicked the last 2 goals of the game to get it back to 7 points. How they'd love the next one. Crowley tried to get his handball away. Didn't get very far, and a quick possession out of the pack from Grimes. Now inside 50. Footy to be won. McPhee got his hands on it. Comes out McDonald's direction. Barlow might have got a free kick for a push in the back. No. Comes out to Jones. Now we've got a whistle.
No, it's not 50. Brought your kick, mate.
It was a very late call. It wasn't that Jones was already in the process of kicking that football when he picked that ball up as a scoop as opposed to a hand pass.
So Broughton with that free kick. He just off a step sends it towards the wing, and well done by Pavlich. He out-muscled and out-thought. Or did he? No, he didn't.
Said he did it too early, which may be right, but just used his body very well. I think he's a bit frustrated the way Frawley plays. He plays it so close.
To half-forward, Frawley goes. Rivers not quite bait, just left it for Rivers. Over the top it goes. They've got some run inside here. Rivers quickly chisels it to Bennell, couldn't quite. And McFarlane just grabs it before Bennell could get it the second time to McPhee, to the outer side to Pearce. Pearce has got DeBoer inside.
Got an injury concern down here. Stephen Hill's just hobbled off to the bench. Looks maybe like a lower right ankle.
And Bennell down from Melbourne as well, Haim.
Yeah, he's in the hands of the trainers, as you can see on your screen. Meanwhile, Crowley just crashes it forward, and Walters, he can run into the open goal, and he gets another 3 in a row to the Dockers. Well, this is becoming a really disappointing afternoon for the Demons. It started in such a positive fashion. They got out to a 20-point lead. Jamar's calf, Jack Grimes is hobbling, and Jamie Bennell now on the way to the bench. So plenty in the repair shop. Mark Jamar out for the afternoon. Stephen Martin tiring. The Dockers have kicked the last 3 of the afternoon.
Yeah, bad to worse here for Melbourne. You see Bennell there twisting his ankle quite aggressively there. He won't come back on the ground. If he does, he'll be extremely proppy, and you can't afford to jab injuries like that because they hang around for a long time. So Melbourne need to be really creative to get the ascendancy back here.
Really bad ankle injury. You couldn't help but feel the pain. Fremantle now with a bit of a sniff, trying to force it forward through Broughton. He had it, lost it. Main, now DeBoer gets a kick forward. Walters kicked the last goal. He's lost this one. Little handball over the top. That was well done by McDonald. He got it away. And then the kick towards the wing from Trengove. DeBoer waiting down. Got it to Ibbotson, who stepped around Rivers. Looks upfield. Walters, a real live wire up forward now. Couldn't mark. Hits the ground running. Strauss, good tackle. Stayed right there with him. And the footy over the line. Melbourne up by a point.
Yes, it is carnage. And this is a tragedy of the 3-1. In today's football, you've got no... The percentages don't go in your favour for a fair and even contest when you get too many injuries.
Griffin down to Broughton. Melbourne's defence, they've got a lot of numbers around this contest. and they force a bounce.
And this will come really into play now. You see the interchange there, Melbourne 92 to Fremantle 84. They won't be able to make too many more. It's going to be the 20 players left to really carry the load of Melbourne here, and they've obviously lost a ruckman and a small electric type player, so both ends of the spectrum affected.
And for all of Melbourne's woes, the Dockers haven't been in front this afternoon, but you get the feeling that statement won't be accurate for too long. McPhee at half-back. Nice ball to Muzungu. Hit on the lead in front of Mackenzie, and Muzungu over the top to Johnson, who's got a bit of space. A rare luxury in this game. Inside 50. Not perfect delivery to Main. Just trapped it, paddles it forward. Continues to be hard ridden by Garland, and it spills out.
What Fremantle need to do now, that Melbourne are down a couple of players. Anytime they've got a one-on-one sort of player running with them, just try to outwork them all the time. Never stand stationary. Keep working over your direct opponent.
Walters crashes it forward, comes off a demon, ends up just with Couch trying to find Strauss, who was a late in. Good one over the top, hard for Green, chases the ball. Bradley watches on Muzungu, gets involved. Hill can't break free. Sylvia desperate, handballed unfortunately to McPhee. He crashes the long ball forward, going back. Pav, Trengove too, the two skippers. The one wearing the white jersey wins out.
Just have a stiff arm out. I'd have seen a stiff arm. I'd have seen a stiff arm.
Silly guys.
See a big jump ball there?
There was a bit of a jump pull there. Just saw the neck just before then it was.
He just about have paid the mark anyway to Pavlich, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right there, Jonesy.
He's marking the ball now, Pavlich, at his highest point, and it makes it very difficult. He's so strong, he forces the backline player in behind him at least a metre.
He's turned back the clock in the last month or so. One becomes two for Pav, and the Dockers are in front. So for the first time this afternoon, Fremantle lead this football match.
And he's seen none of it.
Well, it's hard to see anything, isn't it? I'm going to the footy, I won't be able to see anything. I'm probably going to overheat.
Just feels it, just feels the purple haze.
Osmosis, I think, is the word, Tom.
Yep.
There's the purple wiggle there. Matthew Pavlich is in some rare form. He's so effective one-on-one, and you can just feel the weight of numbers of Fremantle just starting right over top of Melbourne here.
Just want to check, Tom, can he see the football, that man?
I don't think he's seeing a hell of a lot at the moment.
As our wiggle expert.
Here's Ballantyne. He got a quick one down from Hill, who's playing a good game. Now Ballantyne called to go. Mundy breaks for him. Marks in front of Jones. And Fremantle now with a real run on. Melbourne, as we've said, men down. It's 4 in a row. They're looking for their 5th. They go long towards Main. Well done by Garland. He got the footy across to Grimes, who's shown tremendous courage to get back out onto the ground. And the kick to Pettard is a good one. He can dish to Jones by hand. He does that. Well, Mark dropped now. Nicholson, but he had the recovery. And he comes out towards the interchange area, and Grimes marks. He runs away. Kicks long down towards the 50. Green was hanging on to McPhee. That's got to be a free kick. Umpire somehow has missed it. Handball to Bale. Oh, wonderful opportunist goal. Should have been a free kick against, but Melbourne make the most of their good fortune. Melbourne get lucky, but Bale had the finish, and McPhee cannot believe it. And he's justified in arguing with umpire Bannister. Clearly a free. But it's Melbourne back up by a point.
Yeah, just saw the tug there. McPhee certainly deserves a free kick on that occasion. Bale makes Fremantle pay for that. One against the flow, stiff by the Dockers.
Sensational finish from Rowan Bale, and the D's are in front again.
Thanks, mate. Play on.
They've led for the majority of this match. The Pavlich goal got the Dockers in front. Quick response from the D's. They go inside 50 again. Well, Couch got it out in the end, just cut off by Ibbotson. He tries to get away from the tackling bait, couldn't quite. Mackenzie squeezes the kick, and Green on the end of it.
been less than good, McPhee, today. He just seems to be tagging his player in instead, or running in with his player as opposed to shoulder, just then determining whether he goes back behind him or in front. At the moment, he's just taking the, well, I'd say the comfortable option, standing in behind. And if it's a short mongrel kick, well, you pay a dear penalty.
So Brad Green approaching game 250. This is 248. He had 2 goals from his 6 outings. He was recalled. He has 2 for the afternoon. Melbourne fans would love a third, and that's what he delivers. So the former skipper puts the Demons in front by 7 points. And against the flow, after the Dockers had kicked 4 in a row and got the lead for the first time, Bale and Green kick quick goals for the Demons.
That came from great tackling pressure in Melbourne. At the moment, they've had 15 more tackles. Brad Green was the recipient. He's kicked 3, and he's looking dangerous up forward.
So Fremantle's turn to answer. Ball in the middle again, and Griffin got high down in Crowley's direction. He socketed forward to Mzungu. Well blanketed. Trengove's been terrific, fighting hard. Jones, he got a handball away too. They spill it out wide to Blease, who missed the football. Nicholson's good work went unrewarded. Mzungu reaching over the top. He got it to Ballantyne. Now De Boer. Quick kick inside 50. They tangle. McDonald got in the way of Garland, but it ended up in the latter's hands, and that's a very strong mark taken by Ibbotson, falling over.
Couple of good wins there by Freo. That was a hot ball on the wing before. Won that contest, surged it forward, then Ibbotson saves the day across half-back. It's a really important stage of the game now.
McFarlane to spur over the top to McPhee. He's got Johnson on over the top if he wants him. He's asked to go now by the umpire, and it does end up with Johnson in front of Rivers.
Very slow to react, Rivers. He could have come up much earlier with a bit real pressure on McPhee, not known for his decision-making.
Not a great effort by Johnson into the man on the mark, and how about that, Mick? Rivers ends up with a footy, rewarded when perhaps he was lucky to be long kick down towards full forward. Well done by McFarlane. Now McPhee with some work to do. Dangerous handball. Ibbotson controlled it well. The kick not that good either. They might get lucky. It ends up in the hands of Pearce, but now it's a terrible ball. In fact, it was Broughton who missed it. And Rivers kick inside, and the mark is taken by Howe, and he can go bang and make it a couple in a row for the D's.
Well, it's interesting that the efficiency rates dropped to 70 and 73 respectively, Fremantle, Melbourne. And these little turnovers are the ones that are presenting Melbourne with opportunity to get back in the game.
Broughton with the mistake. This for 3 goals in a row for the Demons. He kicks, and it was offline, straining for the accuracy. Just to behind. Melbourne's lead is 8 points.
Key for Fremantle now is to put speed on the game. They are behind. Oh, another turnover.
Well, Duffield's kick not great. Mundy got lucky with the bounce in the end, sends it in the Walters direction. He can't take it cleanly. Griffin wrapped up. Heap of Demons, ferocious at the football at the moment, the D's. Against the odds, they lead the match by 8 points.
I was saying they need to get speed on the game. They need to really exploit Melbourne's lack of rotations for this next quarter and a half. Take the game on, put it through the middle, get it up to Pavlich.
So Jared Rivers and Howe just helping out in the ruck department at the moment. Sylvia tries to bullock his way through.
Yeah, boys.
It's good to see Sylvia do that. I like that. That's a man who's going to take on the game. His fitness is starting to come up again. They need some more class through the middle, and he's a class player.
Look for the third up here. There it is.
At his best, Sylvia as good as any on the Demons list. The Demons fans and players would love to see more of his best. Big collision right in front of us, in front of Kirky. Garland just gets away from Main. Again, long ball. Who's there for the Demons? How? Well, he does it on a weekly basis. Cirque du Soleil audition. He got high again, couldn't complete the deal. Ends up with Trengove over the top. Here we go. Ricky Pettard just gives the don't argue. Unselfish, goes to the top of the square. Bait!
The fly from Howe is what you expect, but the follow-up tackle, Mick, is what the coach...
Outstanding. Hamish, I've got news for you. That kick of Pettard's, that was a reverse torp to go through.
Banana, wasn't it, actually?
And it hit too close to the middle. That's why it was able to bend back and look like a great square up.
On the replay, it was absolutely a banana, wasn't he? He was going for home.
Make no mistake about it.
Bate, can he make it? 3 in a row for the Demons. Yes, he can. And just when you thought momentum had changed address and was living in the West, the Demons kicked 3 in a row. And that's the way it's been going all day. The first 3 to the Demons, next 3 to the Dockers, next 3 to the Demons, 2 to the Dockers, 2 to the Demons, 4 to the Dockers, and now 3 in a row to Melbourne. That one from Matty Bate, and Melbourne are out to 14 points.
This kick here, good hand pass for start off, but make no mistake about this kick was intended to go through. It was going to be a miraculous goal in the best. But Bate was in the right position and takes a terrific mark.
Talked about a Broughton error just a couple of minutes ago, and it looks like the coach has reacted by putting him on the bench, and Sutcliffe goes on, so the sub has been activated for the Fremantle Dockers. We'll check all of that with Kirky in just a moment. And Melbourne now with another free kick since the Pavlich goal. 5 inside 50s to Melbourne, none to the Fremantle Dockers. And they might be getting another one here. Blease takes on De Boer, brilliant speed. He gets inside 50 from close to the boundary. How's the finish? Yes, Blease again.
He just does things instinctively. He's got that run about him.
That's a really bold bit of play there to come round on your left when he's a right footer, take the ball on. That's exactly what Melbourne need to keep doing. Fremantle also need to counteract that because they have to exploit the lack of interchange that Melbourne are going to have. But momentum certainly with the D's at the moment, Nick.
Yeah, Tommy, we're just talking about it. The interchangeability now of Melbourne must be saturate your midfield but leave your deep forwards and your deep backs. Yep. They can't afford to come off because they've got to just have to sacrifice a bit of time by giving opportunity for those mids to have a breather.
4 goals won from 5 inside 50s, the Demons, but Walters can get one back for the Dockers, and that didn't take long. So Walters gets his second for the afternoon and breaks the run of 4 goals in a row for the Demons. The Demons 4 goals, 8 minutes, 14 kicks, 4 goals won from 5 inside 50s, and that was a badly needed one for the Dockers.
Just shows the importance of a centre clearance there. When you get it in, you've got one-on-ones in your forward 50. Got the mark and the goal here from Walters. Really important stage of the game. Both sides loading up with the best of the best in this centre circles right now.
Playing just his first game since round 3 last year after being banished to the waffle. Well done by Sylvia. 2 goals for Walters. It's been a handy return, but Sylvia's done nicely. He got it towards 50. Rivers again. He's blanketed a couple of balls in that territory. Ibbotson. Eventually they move it on. It came to Pearce. They gave it to McFarlane, and the kick long now towards the wing. Walters with Strauss fighting hard. The McDonalds combine. It comes back to Strauss. Needs to get away from the Walters tackle. That had to be holding the ball. Umpire waves them to play on. Incredible. Sylvia gathers, and a good mark taken by Pearce, getting back across half back. That was an important grab for Fremantle.
Talk about defining moments in seasons. The Dockers simply must win if they want to play finals football. But right now the Demons lead it by 14. Johnson, little ball inside is good to Crowley. They've got some run here and cruising through the middle and delivering perfectly to Pavlich. The Dockers must get one. Sutcliffe was great to Pav.
Yeah, it's a classical case really further afield. Melbourne opportunity to close down the player that was forward of the ball as opposed to the back of the ball. He took the easy option, ran in between and allowed the Fremantle players to get out of the back 50 too easily. And once you start that, you end up getting a loose player, and that's exactly what's happened. Frawley then was just left high and dry on this. It's a good lead by Pavlich, took the fat side,
He's got a serious CV, but he wants to play more finals. This, a big kick. And Pav, he delivers for the Dockers. Back to 8 points. Well, it's been a knock on Pav over the journey, that when it really matters, he was wayward in front of goals in the last month and a half. He's been good when it mattered. Against the Tigers, he kicked goals when it was really required. He did it last week against the Dogs, and today he's been good in front of goal again. It's the D's by just 8 points.
Three goals straight from the skipper, Matthew Pavlich. He's going to stand up. You know that the real challenge for Fremantle is who's going to join him. Is it going to be Barlow? Is it going to be Hill? Needs some help, particularly through the middle of the ground.
In his AFL Life membership match, trying to get his team over the line. Well done, Martin. He stole the Mzungu handball, then the kick towards Bate. Ibbotson lost it. Bate went back and found it. Good tackle, Johnson. I reckon the umpire will say, let's bounce. Let's go to Brett Kirk.
Yes, Basil, Burnell's still down in the rooms. He came off at the 8.5-minute mark and we haven't seen him. So big concerns for Melbourne with only 2 on the bench. Yeah,
Jamar gone for the rest of the match. The early substitution, and Burnell now appears to be in trouble. Grimes back out on the ground. He showed tremendous courage. Melbourne refusing to give in. Their lead cut back to 8 points, and we're going to have another bounce outside 50.
Tackling's been very good for both sides. In close in particular, there's no one taking a backward step. It's their turn to put their body in line. They are doing it. And I like Sylvia in there because of his toughness and his strength.
Griffin and Martin wrestle again. Martin got that one down. Quick kick forward. Johnson not marking the Sylvia kick. The ball hits the deck. It's still alive. Pearce gave it to Ibbotson. Jones trying to wrap things up inside 50, and we're going to have a bounce.
Sylvia's the player to watch in these sort of stoppage situations. He's got 2 main roles. He's either come up as the third man or put a block on Crowley to release a player like Jones. He's the way that Fremantle will need to keep an eye on.
So a big moment in this game. De Boer just quickly and hurriedly gets it out of the defensive 50 for the Dockers. Bradley goes hard with McDonald. Well, how does the umpire see this one? Fremantle are going to get the kick.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, thank you.
Bradley short, McFarlane. If the Dockers are serious about their season, these are must-win games. Ruckman been wearing a red vest for the D's for a long time. And the Dockers just struggling to get their noses in front. They've only been there once for the afternoon. McPhee looks at a very crowded, congested forward line, and in the end his kick doesn't favour anyone but one of the co-captains, and Grimes will go short to Green. So can the D's build as we approach three-quarter time? Green, well, it's Howe, and he'll leap high, and, well, he almost brings it in. Drops to Ricky Pettard. Quick kick inside 50. It's a bouncing ball, surely. It won't go all the way, and Pearce will get back on the last line and save the day for the Dockers, and a good kick to Bradley.
Did well, wrapped it up, got his body right around the football, and Joel McDonald close by could only watch. Melbourne by 8 points. Spur, the late inclusion into the team after Grover was injured in the warm-up.
Just one-on-ones everywhere. Fremantle need to work together. I've been able to release Pearce here, but just see them in patches. Get together, work together, put on a block, get someone free.
It's been good too, Spur. Thought he had an afternoon watching from the stands in front of him. 15 disposals now. Pearson, Bradley, and now Ballantyne. With a minute 45 to play. One of the vice-captains of this club kicks long towards the 50. Grimes, it came off the back of his boot. No mark. Walters just got his handball away. Mzungu tackled strongly by Strauss. How will the umpire see this one? He comes in and says he'll bounce.
Oh, look, I know this is off the ball, but I've just watched Blees, and I can understand why he's such a burst player, because his defensive work is very ordinary when he's tired. The ball's there because he didn't pick up his direct opponent.
Down in the Ballantyne direction again. He shoveled a handball out, quick kick forward. It comes towards the wing. Well done by Strauss to clear the danger. Not so well done by Ibbotson. Trengove read it nicely, but the handball not good. He gave it to Robertson, who gives it to Ibbotson.
Who goes searching for Mayne, finds him. Just a minute to play. Mayne, a long ball. Here's a chance for the Dockers. Out the back, Bradley!
He's there for a long time by himself, and I just suspect that Martin's his opponent. Yes, there's Martin standing at centre-half back, about 35 metres off him. Can't pick and choose when you're going to defend, and particularly when the sides are getting mauled around the stoppages.
Well, the ball had Kepler Bradley written over it for a long, long time, and Bradley has 1-1 for the afternoon. This just before three-quarter time to bring it back to within 2 points. But he can't put it through the middle. 7 points the margin, 18 seconds to play as we see Kepler Bradley get high and take the mark, unable to finish the deal.
What they need now, and Mick made the perfect point about Stefan Martin, one of the leaders of the Melbourne Footy Club needs to go over and say to him, can't afford to have your opposing ruckman drift forward and take marks like that. Ensure it doesn't happen again.
Frawley, the long clearing kick. Contest on the wing, and it's fisted forward by Johnson to Griffin. He got it back to Bradley. Now Robertson. He got a kick out quickly and well read. And getting back, Garland marks. Siren sounds. Melbourne by 7 points. It'd be interesting, Tom, if we interviewed Luke McFarlane now, what he'd say about the lead.
Need to be further in front.
Ross Lyon is going to join us after the break. He's got a lot to think about in this three-quarter time huddle. Playing for a place in the top 8 to keep their season alive. Melbourne by 7 points. 12-7 leading Freo 11-6.